Say good evening to everybody. We are saying that in order to receive a teaching from the Bodhichitta, like Rinpoche, I'm not going through that whole quotation. So, what's it? From the very beginning, where you're going to start, then in order to receive the teaching, at that time, first main thing is you need to look into yourself. Means look into your mind. And then stabilize that mind, and then you receive, listen or hear the teaching.
Dharma som de kong lu so Dharma som do de yowa sin ki Dharma ngi mi Dharma yo hwa Dharma so ti Dharma som de kong du Dharma yowa sin ki Dharma do de ge za thap de sin ba yowa sin ki Dharma de Dharma ho la yu do je te mo ne do long de de te la da ngang ge lo ma da ba to pa de ma tham ji ta ta ngang so la yu yin ba de wa sin ji yin ni zong de nam bo Dharma da ge me ge lo ma tin ge to pa de lu te tham ji pa be pang ne ta ngang ge tam pa song ge ti sin tang bo ge ta thap ye sin ba jo sin ji tam ba do ji te hu go ko yu ri ge hu go ta ta ho rang ge ting ha ngang ge nam to ngin phan da ma da yi mi ting de than na ta ho pa ya ne ko lu nga yi song ka te ta ho so chu so la ta ho lo to ta si ti to pang ngin pha pang go song ne
Jo sin ki tam ba
jo sin ji tam ba ge ta thap ye sin ba si ba jo sin ji tam ba se ba la ge ta ge thap ye sin
Teng ji mi pa me ba
yo hwa tam ba ti tam ba som te dong ha kang lam nyam su la na ti tam ba som khong na ma di ba yu ma yi
in order to again to receive the Dharma teaching or to hear the Dharma teaching, first we need to Tampasum. Tampasum is like a three principal quality you need to develop. First one is Jorwa Semke, is like the Bodhichitta, altruistic enlightened mind. The first. And then second one is the visualizations. Mikpa So the second one, visualize without the visualizations. You need to focus into the point. And the third is the dedication. So whatever merit you accumulating or you accumulated so far, you dedicating to the welfare of the all sentient beings. Make sense? Please, if it doesn't make sense, please raise your hand and I will try to correct that. So I forgot one also that whether you like say I'm a tantric practitioner, I'm a sutric practitioner, but you have to have these three qualities no matter what you're practicing, or your primary practice or your principal practices. So then you need to catch that, or you need to hold that. Getsa tap is the getsa is the root of the merit. You need to hold that, or you need to grab that with the skillful mean. Tap is a skillful mean. So you need to hold it. Means, in other words, so what he's saying is you need to use the skillful mean or skillful method. So not just, what's saying, what it is real, so you need to understand it thoroughly, what is the root cause of the merit, the accumulation of the merit. So then we consider ourselves as a Mahayana practitioners, the greater vehicle, the practitioner or the followers. So then this tada tikwa chambu ge jerin chik song ti wala chik
te geta tabi sin tu de ta samba ja kyo manam kha da nya de sin je tham che ke tong dong ye ge ba du de ti tong de yin samba long na ti te pa chim chu ro ko yori.
So if then ones who grabs into that all the merit I accumulated, whether I accumulating or so far I've accumulated, I'm going to dedicate all the merit to the cause of all sentient beings' benefit. So you have like Samba Yachembo, it's like a great thought. Your thought is not limited. So like vast, for like when we say all sentient beings, all mother sentient beings, then you including everybody.
Geta tap je sin par si pata samba ja chimbo ji go je te ji thop suna chu ge wa chung chung ri na ti geta de tap ja chimbo ji ne ti tap ke sen sung ji ti ge wa de ta ti pa chimbo ni jo jo ge wa lap chimbo ni jo jo den da re yong kho wi den da re in de la ta chu ge wa de yang dang ban do to ko yu ga si den da chu samba ja chimbo ge ji ne sin jin tham che sa ma hi pa yi na ge wa de chu geta tap de ke ma ji ni ge wa tan thang ka che ge wa chimbo de do na chu ti geta tap ke ma ji na ti ge wa de ni tekpa chimbu chula ya mando wa ta de ran du yi ji ke he so na dar ge wa chimbo tan hang ge wa na do na ge wa yang ta ban do mo do de ni ba ro ko yu ri so.
So again we need to use the tool is the skillful method or the skillful mean. That with that tool you need to understand, you need to analyze, you need to recognize the the root cause of the virtue or the root cause of merit. So if you have that quality or you develop that quality within yourself, then even you accumulated a tiny bit merit, you accumulated, that merit is going to be a double, triple, because you have that skillful method. And then you dedicating that merit to the sake of all mother sentient beings, not for like your loved one or your relative or your friends or your community or your race or so and so, So it's when we say all mother sentient beings, then there's no enemy, there's no relative, there's no loved one. It's each and every like an unconditional love type.
Ma nam kha ta nya de sen ji tham chi sang go pa ti khu gu ba yum chi mang bo de xie yu li ta de ngong do du sa si dang de ngong ko hong nam ba tang pa ju si ba de si no me ta ngu gi mi tam ba sa ji de la ngu gi mi do de te ra bi na ta u ma chin bo sa ja chin bo zo ba chin bo ti ta ba to ji la ta ngu gi mi tam ba sa kha yu de ma na.
The second quality, this one is the how to develop that altruistic enlightened mind or the bodhichitta, you can say. The first one. The second one is no visualizations. So, without the mipa magomba. So anyway, so without the visualization, literally I'm translating that. Another word, what Rinpoche is saying that. Not having any afflictive emotions or conceptual thought or diluted thoughts. So not having that at all whatsoever. So based on then, you have the realization of what you call a great seal of emptiness, Dzogpa Chenpo Dzogchen, or Mahamudra realizations, or Madhyamika. So, like these are like higher advanced study and teaching. So you have, knowledge of that, or you can say you well knowledge of that, those teaching, or you have you can say realizations of those teachings. that point of view, then you can do that. You can develop that quality.
Thế là tăng ngang còn lẽ là bộ cắt là ra xa do ở sông ta chứ mà chỉ cái yang ta và tổ thuộc của mà đấy thì thế tổ mà thấp cắt là ta rằng cái lung ai sông để ghé là cột thuộc của đi thế nên là qua cái ta rằng cái gì để của số sâm để chú là đồ thuộc của đó là thế chú là đồ thuộc của cái chế đó ta tăng bộ chế của chế thì cán đi mà ta chế thì ta không sao mà tông của đó thế chế thì ta không sao mà tông của đấy rồi.
So since we are ordinary people as a beginner, so we don't have those high realizations or siddhis. So as what we have in our possession is our body, speech and mind. That we need to dedicate. How we going to dedicate? And then we need to investigate, good, bad, what is you need to abandon, what is need to, what is you need to accept, what is you need to reject. So I'm consulting with Geshe-la if I'm missing anything, So, we need to dedicate genuinely, not just from well I will, but not from your bottom of your heart, without any of these afflictive emotions or conceptual thought or diluted thought is interfering in your mind, or contaminating your mind, your pure mind. So my body, speech and mind I'm dedicating. Then you can develop that.
Ta chế tất cả là rằng cái ta chữ là rằng thế mà để chữ yang ta bản là thế đó mà ta này chế cho cái gì rằng cái gì như thế cái gì như yang ta bản chế mà đi đó mà ta chế cho cái gì ngài rằng lưu tin ta cảnh ra bên lưu thốt đó ta ra bên chế cho cái gì so thế nên cả là bà là ta người rằng cho cái tam jo ni cả là lô đốt nam cái ta sao mà tông cái gì đó lô đốt nam cái ta sao mà tông cái thì cái gì xin 콜바 첸 데라 신 송체나 신체나 데라 신 바치 렌 바치 데 바이나 추양 다반 로크 따완 유 말이 첸 데라 신나 추바메 세 디데게 따라하면 로도 남기 때 당호 유라 제트나 되게 콜바라 조시에 제주다 추는 조건님 용도 레벨 코드 봐 되게 로도 남기 때 공도 드사 다 쇼보 그 되게 다
again the first is that we need to investigate the teaching. But somebody is teaching that you cannot put blindfold in your eyes, say, this is teaching and what he or she believes and I need to believe. It's not like that. In Buddhism, it's strictly you investigate, you analyze that makes sense to you or not this teaching. If it makes sense to you, you are, getting something from that teaching, you understanding the meaning, whatever teaching is telling you or saying you investigate that first. Then who is teaching you, whether he or whether she? So whoever as a teacher is teaching, again that individual is a genuine teacher or not. That's your moral responsibility. You need to investigate that too. So then you need to investigate yourself. We meet, we were born, and then finally we met the Dharma. How we met it? What is the circumstances? What is the conditions are? How we met it? Where actually came from? Who introduced you? All that. So you investigate. All has a reason. All has meaning. So then, and then you think yourself. It's a precious, precious human existence. You obtain this precious human life. We each have that. It's not easy to obtain. We did something good, so we have perfect, precious human life or precious human existence. So now, you need to investigate that part too. So, so first, how we are going to, then all that after the investigation, then now we need to turn ourselves into Dharma activities. How to practice, how to put myself to practice Dharma, how I can do more Dharmic, activities. So that's the 4 thoughts. It says 4 thoughts which turns our mind to practice Dharma. So, as like a ordinary being, as a beginner, if Dharma is not there, then sometimes our mind get bewildered, our mind get confused. Then we get so attached to this cyclic existence, material world. So then we never, we kind of tangle with this, the cyclic existence, material or the world, materialistic world. Then we never ever going to release ourselves from that tangle, you can say. Tangle, yeah? You cannot release from that. So we need to release ourselves. We need to be free. So, in order to do all those things, first we need to learn these 4 thoughts. So it's called the Lodok Namji in Tibetan word. Your mind reverse into practice Dharma. Turn away from the material world and letting you or making you focus into Dharma practice.
Oh yeah, then that ngang so mudu chepa ki ne thop kyu yang da ban theju de de ya la long jin jang ga le song sin na da ngang so kyu yang da ban ne the ne da tu san su ka wa da lin ju de kyu jin la yong de jie wa ha ma de mi so na ya chen bo sa ne kyu yang da ban ne the de la ko so ba mo na ya po the ne di len de ba wu ne da tun da mudu chepa ki lang kyu yang da ban theju de jie wa ha ma so na ya chen bo sa ya le de dan tin de ri zong de.
Like, great enlightened master Longchen Ramgyam said, what do you think? You obtain the precious human life or precious human existence. And then plus, top of that, you met the precious Buddha Dharma. What do you think, how you obtain, how you got those, how you receive those? So, then he is answering that, saying that we did something good in our past life or previous life. We did really something outstanding job, So dharmic, job. So whatever we accumulated merit or any kind of dharmic activities, that is the result of that. Then you have the precious, perfect, complete human existence or human life, and then we get opportunity to meet the precious Dharma.
Take it that ngan so du te tendara ke una ja chempor ma sa na da ke du to ko yu ma yi so mu che pa kin tam pyu dan the ban de te chuan phogon tho ba tang tap le por kap ti wang ke thol ma so na ja chempor sa ke te thom du ti zang ko ke le den tho den ti lo ne da ta chu yang da ba do ji na je ba ma ho pa ni yang chuan ni ko no me za ba te thom ma ko pa da do pa sang je ko pa thop thop je re tendara je re yin ba ti da ga so ga ba gom je tang ti zang ku le ken tho ta ni ken ti lo ne ti nang ke chu ga dab de ta chok ni na ma ri so tendara da nga o ri la.
Again, so all that, the great deed, the great virtuous deed you did in your past life or your previous lifetime, and you accumulated like limitless merit. So then you look at, if you look at your perfect, precious human life, and then you met this Dharma, all this, like interdependent origination, the result of your previous life, the great deed you did, the virtuous deed you did. So, in this lifetime also, if you continually, if you will practice Dharma, do, Dharma activities, accumulate merit, and the future life also going to be a better and better, all the way the day you get enlightened or attain Buddhahood. Till that time, you will go higher and higher. So also it's there's a famous teacher made a quote that what you did in your previous lifetime, you look at in this life, this lifetimes, your life, what you did in the past, So, and what you like to, what you want to be in your next life, you look at in your present action. What kind of action or activities you're doing?
Take it out, that I'm around so that do top your tail. So now, Jachimbo San, top the go get the conditioner. That time you're looking the top one, pay down your tongue song one tongue at the top of the Sibo Yuri. It's only Tambo Jok under the two tongue you'll be top body sana. Think you're the Tambo to turn number about the Yazon Boku. To turn number about took him song mina, Tam your the talker you marry. Did Yimba on your tongue last so far, Yimba Mambo Madonna. To turn number about song you take a Tarawa yet tolly song. That Jimba last so by Yina Pinsin, Samsung, like Yina Pajimba on your Tadasi you take it. Diram Jorga, Yin Jorga, on the Tadian Georgia Tang with the Vala, Chuyang, but don't go on the Tadian Georgia, Middle Topat of the team, just Tadian Georgia Tango artist, and David, Tambo to turn song, Yimba on your, then Mulan and Bata, take it, just in I'm just subject the bad Tokayu Mari.
So, so just look at yourself. Again, you did really good. And then you have this precious, perfect human existence. And how do you say? You obtain all that 18 qualities. The endowments and, how do you say? Free from the 8 worldly unfavorable conditions. So I'm forgetting all those words. So try to look it in the dictionary. So leisure lana yang kon so gakwa yaga to thachage. Leisure se pe thalbo lagda wala. Khom tal. So some people say leisure. Leisure, Huh? 8 worldly dharma, or some translator, the master translator says 8 unfavorable worldly, conditions. So I don't know. So who is right, who's wrong? La. 8 opportunities. Geshe-la says 8 opportunities. So. I will check here. So. Taljoche give the chick Kase Chigo Dola Condola.
Tara yet to Mamma Impe.
Honestly.
Tara yet to Yava Yada to know. Talhami the Vala. Tara yet, Hotena. Mamma Impe, and Tortara yet 11. Yavana Tadanka, the Conco Mariva. The Yada, Latigongo Conco, Matono, Inco Conco Malta. นั้นทำทุกจะคงคอยอยู่มาคนทำมินทำทุกเลยว่าถ้าเราถึงดูชิมีบางอย่างนี้คงคอยอยู่มาชุดเดียวเลยกับคนบามีที่ยันทดทบที่ยินทบแต่ตาไม่มาคนบายันทดทบเดียวมันนี่มาคนบายันตาย้อนทางคบที่ส่วนนั้นคบชุดด่าตามตาคอยอยู่มาดีว่าทีนี้ตาโลกตากันเทศตรงนี้โลกตาชุดยางต่างปาลมันเทปต่างรังชุดละท่านตะวันโสมาชนพาโลกตาไปอยู่เทศตรงนี้เทย้อนทางคบไปโลกตาเป็นทีนี้โลกตาละโลกคุณจะไปดีนั่งละข้าสัลปุยยับดวงเงี้ยทีนี้โลกยันกัสเร่กุปป้าดูยิ่งโลกเลยสมัยเรามากุปป้า 이 산지 마존나 양코이 늘 차차 토를 문 톱되는 핑크요 말이와.
네.
디 이게 다가 뭐지 뭐 빠지는 저달 텀들이다.
So I will read it from here. So exactly what the translation says. So Rinpoche says something. So So these are the the 8 leisure. It says the 8 freedom, the 4 freedom from the 4 fetters within human existence. Not holding wrong view, not born in barbaric land, not born in a place where Buddha has not appeared, not born as a mute or a fool. Then the second one is the 4 freedom from 4 fetters non-human existence, not being in a hell being, not being in a hungry ghost realm, and not being an animal, not being long living God. So talwa gete samthila
teni ramjor nga ta rang la yorwa nga thang go pyu de ba te rang yorwa nga thang go meni uti wang bo thang len tha ma lo ne la te do du dang bo nga me yin pa meni yin pa teni meni yin tha de wang bo yin nga tham ji chung ma go ba tha ma thang de ba meni uti wang bo thang si me yin pa la yor chu ta sa yor go u do de chu ta sa yor la ti de ba wang bo thang de ba len pa ma lo do rang chu de rang lo da ri ba de chu de nga mu de ba chu de mi de sem de la de mi de la len ta ma lo ra len ta ma lo ne lo de mi u ti bang bo thang len ta ma lo ne lo de ti ya de ram yor ti nga ni da ram yor nga ti nga de mi u ti wang bo thang len ta ma lo ne la de jo.
These 5 endowments are the being as a human being, and then who's obtained, who obtained complete the human existence, not having any birth defects, having all this, the arms, eyes, whatever the body parts are, you possess or you have, then born, Rawala, Allah.
Sorry, I just want to count these 5. So first one, before we doing the practice, what we have to need the opportunity. That is, first we have to be a human being. If we are born in hell realm and other realms, then there's no opportunity to do the Dharma practice. So that's why we have to need to be born in human realm. Then secondly, even in a human realm, that's not enough. If your mental faculty is wrong, then you cannot understand or you cannot do. So all mental faculty is be perfect or need to be good. Then third is, if you born in a dark age or where there is Dharma is not flourishing, then even your mental faculty is okay, but you will not meet the Dharma, so then you will not get education, so you don't know how to do practice. That's why the Dharma must be flourishing at that time. Then even Dharma is flourishing at that time, if personally, individually, if he is not awareness of Dharma, or he is not attentive of Dharma, or he is not just neglecting, or he is not paying any attention, then even Dharma is flourishing, but individually there's no effect for him. So that's why his main mental quality is to be very interested in Dharma. If he have no interest in Dharma, then that Dharma will not affect it. So his mind should be turned into Dharma. Lethamaloba. Tishin Mijur Usjo, Angbo Tanshin, Nela Teba. So Nela Teba said, then Dharma, he have to be fed on Dharma, then he has to be interested in Dharma. That's the 5 quality of the need to be consistent for oneself. Then other 5 is need to become outside. These 5 qualities need to be consistent individually, because he have to be man, then he have to be consistent of 5 mental, all mental faculties should be correct. Then his mind is to be turned on the right way, or to turn Dharma. Then Dharma, then also what call at that time Dharma teaching also necessary to present at that time. So these 5 is necessary to become need to be content within oneself. Now 5 is depend on other side. It need to become outside.
Sanje song tan te chu song in pa ne tan te ji so yin sen tin de ba wo song ta yang ga le ram jo nga de chang long de yang sanje ma song na de phin ke ma sanje song pe ten ba tha yap ji ba sanje song ben jo ba ni sanje song ro yang sanje ko nyam ya yo no chu ma song na phin ke ma de ta chu song ne ne to chu dub jo ba chu song ja ji ba de ni chu song ji de rang ti ji de ma yo na chu song ne ke phin ma ti ji de rang thok tho yo ba sanje song de chu song de ten ba ne tan te ji so然后一个熊呢，点把的嘛，人家去努力个读书米，点把多，他那读书米用对吧？点把那头吧，第几个熊，那第一个，人生现在对吧？我说，然后等他点把那第几个熊，他把人那样，第但是那么的，跟今天这个然后20双的，头这位20双头把了，然后呢，第去努力跟春季长头把，人生现在对吧？我就对了，等他的第二的长嘛，他哪平衡我这人都是长过的，人就就没打我说。
This 5, quality we need to relate it to the others. So the Buddha came, Buddha appeared, the land or the planet where you born, and then he taught, he revealed the Dharma teaching, he taught the Dharma teaching. So not just Buddha appeared then didn't give any teaching, then that's no good. So have to Buddha appeared or Buddha came, gave teaching, and then Sangye Chönrwala.
Sangye Songwa.
So then the teaching, the doctrine he taught exists, and then people follow, the disciple follow and practice, and then develop the loving kindness and compassion. From so we are following, the teacher who's giving who's teaching, he or she again is the teaching through his loving kindness and compassion. Then as we are, as a follower or disciple, then we are following the footsteps, or that teachers, you can say footsteps of the teacher's loving kindness and compassion, which is the teaching, the actual teaching.
ta pe ngasang khorwa te teng sap chung du te teng sap te jam so la pe ya te ni ya chen la khong khere ma jo te ni te sa ta ma ni te gang hin de nyong ji te bu ga khong ji ba pe ya ta ro ba long a te choi jab la jo te ro ba la kho mai ni jo te ni chen jin tham che lan do ke ne tu mi chi lan do ke sa wa te khu ge wa do ti pa pa mi chi jo te gu lan do ke ne mi chi te ke mong sung te ke mu ba ri sung du mai mi pa pe ya ti lo ya re ke than Lene Kala Merhubjote, Lord Jared, but the Lene Merhubjote, that called Chima Yanket, they could give out and tape method, take on board, should give out apple and tape method and down to go board, take it in, the good day, Lord Until Pay Jan, though when the big going to be going at that day, clean the meat.
Tang pe tenishin da.
Yo, Tang pe, Joti Tana, Happy, so
you know we tang dang gyuni kar sa the wala so the first we gave, you know, how difficult to obtain the precious human existence is the, you know, that we discuss about the cause, how difficult, how, you know, what is the root cause to, you know, root cause of the human existence, how to obtain the precious human life, the precious human existence. The second one is the example. It's categorically, you know, divided into, you can say, in the 3 levels. So first, you know, cause, example, and the numbers. So now it's telling you that how difficult to obtain the precious human life is giving one a blind turtle who lives the underneath of the ocean, and you know that how big is the ocean. The blind turtle, and the surface of the ocean, there is like one whole yoke, a wooden yoke. So that turtle, every 100 years, the turtle comes up to the surface of the ocean, and then the turtle is blind, but it says it's possibility the day the yoke is somewhere in the surface of the ocean, the same time the blind turtle is coming from the bottom of the ocean to the surface, and the same time, like a coincident type, might, like as soon as the blind turtle pull up, his or her head might fit through that yoke. But it is the way, like if we use a common sense, we look at it's impossible, because the wave of the oceans, the yoke is the piece of wood. Whenever wave moves, the yoke will maybe go east or west or north or south. Yoke is not a solid stuff that's stick in one place. But it says it's possibility, but just think of how difficult, how impossible is that. So like the sentient beings are so confused, so contaminated with their own afflictive emotion, and like a the blind turtle don't have any clue. It's like a clueless. Don't know, can't see, because the yoke is, where's the yoke, and follow, cannot follow because of the blindness of the turtle. So so likewise, this giving an example, that then we don't know what we need to reject, what we need to accept, what is positive, what is negative, so then we get confused, we get distracted with all this, material world and all so forth. So now you compare your precious human life with the animals. So animal, any kind of creatures, even you like you if you're walking somewhere and there's like a little rock, you pull up, and so how many different kinds of insects underneath? Then you compare, They don't know, where they are, what they're doing, or, what they are up to. But you have, you as a human being, you know what is, good and bad. So you compare yourself. Likewise, like some insects, some creatures we can see through our eye, but some we cannot. But there's, like some sort of a telescope or something you look at, there's like all kinds of little creatures. So, like a snow, some, like we can see like a snowflakes. Like then you cannot calculate, you cannot count the snowflakes. It's like that. Then you compare yourself. You have this precious human life. Oh, I'm very lucky. I'm very fortunate one. So,
Ta tanda pe tang jo tang song gon ti ta xin jie ni ta mu de ni to ka wa yin ba yin le da sa me ri rang ge tang ko wa de wen phok ko ko ti ko wa lang sa ka ti rang ge yu da chod jan ta rang ge mu de si so kan da thop gon do da thop ji de ti ta tong da ka de do gon do san ti den ja ko ko de ba la tanda den ja ti ta sa mo tong ta mu de thop ka wa de ha nga ge yu de je ba ta mu thop ka wa yin ba de ha ko de rang ge thop ka wa de tong de do go da sa me ta.
You need to analyze, you need to investigate piece by piece, frame by frame, how precious is our human life. Individually, there's individual responsibility. So you investigate. Like it says, like cause, example. But then it's like an example to number, just counting the number. So eventually then you got it now. Oh, really, this is a precious human life, making sense. Till that time, you investigate. It's a lot of people, what precious, human life. They complain about themselves. So it's because we don't investigate how precious it is. Like example, with we are comparing with the insects and living creatures and like that. They have no idea, no knowledge of whatsoever, where they are, what they are up to, But we know good and bad, whatever. We have we are conscious, so we know that. So, there's so many ways. Rinpoche Tanji de Chutim dan Jimba dan zo. So, in the course, I think I said this to you or not, then also one, the quality you obtain was, in the course of the precious human life is that you practice on the morality, moral ethics. And then the moral ethic is not enough. Rinpoche says, you have to have you need to also practice on generosity. So this goes together, the morality and the generosity. So that's another, the result of the merit you accumulated to obtain this precious human life. I think I forgot that, so I have note here, so I'm just remind him.
Taranga topate ko pan hot ye take latin didamazi sing topa get home and tea. Yeni la sempre tupo yamba gas, motopa, that nam to me yamba go.
So like investigate yourself, how difficult is the precious human life, or how difficult to obtain the precious human life. Then whatever activity you did in the past, or the, not to follow, not to repeat. Not making all kinds of plan. So in other words, these are all thoughts, right? So not interfere the thought, the diluted thought into your pure mind. Not to follow. The thought comes up, you need to say something negative or positive. Then you follow that thought, and then you take it into action. So during this time, you investigate, you analyze, get to, some level glimpse of the how difficult to obtain the precious human life. Then you need to relax, means meditate. And then, not letting the thought, the diluted thought or the conceptual thought arise into pops up, the simple word, it pops up in your mind, that not to follow those thoughts. Whether it's the previous or the past time thought, or the, in the future thought, whatever it is. So not to follow that. Then if you follow, then you get distracted. You're not going to relax. The simple word is. So, so as a beginner, like we mentioned earlier, that, no visualization. The no visualization means like we have to have a realization or siddhi of like Dzogchen teaching or Mahamudra teaching or Madhyamika teaching, realization. But these are very advanced practice and teachings. So, but you don't need to worry about now, I cannot practice. No, you can practice. It's that this, that we just mentioned, that you relax your mind as much as possible. Mm-hmm. Not to, follow yourself into those diluted thoughts. Then you have some sort of a glimpse, quality of those three practice or teaching, you can say.
Gewa lopa la hui sana ta nga chen de thoni nga gawo ji bo de wong kho sum de nga ga nu de le mo na de tik thobe kho sum de de lopa la ho go ba le wa ga ta ba ho ma he de ba la de ma ho ma ro ne tha de ba ta hu na lopa hui cha ba ta ni gewa zi do na te gewa pe sa po do san de mo na ngom ne ni te chi ne nge te do nge te se u do pe ngom de na ti ngom de de gewa de do kho yu de ba la ma mu pa da ma ho yin ne ye yu pa chi de na nge ma gewa chen bo do ja yin te nge te sa do ja ri mo do san san de pe ga hin chu pa pu yin ba tang chou ne te yin ba tong che da so ti che ke sang na de sa de ti nge te dai ma do san san de yin yang ti gewa ma do ja yin yu pa chi na ting hem gewa la do kho yu de tin je pa yo ye de ke je no ko ta te ndo nyam ga yo chi che gong ni chi su na tin men je thật đi ba la ten je khayu ma ri ti gyaman je pe yo ye ke ti nu tho khayu ma ri so ne
lokpal lam lokpal
ma mu ba la wo hu tang yin na che tang ju pa chi so te gyaman je pe yo ye te ye de ba la ta ha
te gewal ten song the wala ji song the wa tang bo gewa ta khu yang ta belam la mangu wa dan chek song the wala
ma hu pa ta ho ma hu ni gewa ho ma chi de ba te ma hu pa ni lo pa la hu sa lo pa lo
lam lo pa So anyway, so we need to cultivate this four quality. Also, we need to develop within ourselves that, the dedication we mentioned. The dedication should be dedicated to the right place. You can say the right side. wherever that you're dedicating the right, the perfect, you need to make the perfect, you can say, dedications. And then, not, the second one is not dedicating into some sort of a, lokpa is like a wrong way. Your dedication is not entering into a wrong way or wrong path. And then the third one is not having a pride, or like say, I accumulated merit and having a great pride, telling everybody, whatever, having a great pride. So not having a pride about the merit. That we need to what we discuss is that we need to accumulate merit. Then we need to dedicate that merit into the sake of all sentient beings' welfare or all sentient beings' benefit. And then, the dedicating those merit to the right direction or right path, and not dedicating the wrong path or the wrong way, not having that pride. And then the fourth one is not regretting, like I wasted time, I accumulated, complaining, or it was tough, so whatever, or, regret about the merit you accumulated. So I did wasted time, and then, like sometimes, you give something, then you get regret. Why should I give that? I need it now. Or my family need it, or my loved one need it. Like you give something to charity, like charity or like shelter or so on, so, the needies. Then later you regret that, I shouldn't give that, I need it. Then those are the, you need to avoid, you need to reject that kind of.
Geva de pepe na tahang ge tamjo ni kawa la sana ta tango ju pe tan song ko ni lo de la rang ge tango te ta chen je ni te je ta ta yo gom to ta te da gom ka geva te ta ran ho ko ko yuri ting ho cha jin na da ri ti kin ge se to ko yo ma ti te kin kin na ta te khong tho ge ta ta ka geva ma ko ka wa cha ta sa geva te khong tho ge to yong ji sang chang ma na ta je ne la no ko yuri to.
So while you are in this, you are practicing this kind, practicing virtuous deed or accumulating merit, during that time, not to let arise your anger. Anger is so powerful; it's going to destroy instantly. Instantly, it's going to destroy whatever merit you accumulated in the past or previous or present. It's going to destroy instantly. Likewise, the other afflictive emotions, so like anger, desire, ignorance, jealous, pride, these are the 5 afflictive emotions. So, the anger is the main. But Rinpoche is saying that, so, then the rest of the follows, so then it destroy. You accumulated merit like a size of huge mountain, for example, and it's going to destroy instantly that huge mountain. The anger is so powerful, so negative. Last.
Yes, that is the thing that I give a drug shop. They have been the young in part. My long only that give out the younger that who she go for you. How do you tell that? Person I'm a top, but I will see go. So me, they will not take a young about for you. That I'm answer the young thing, make it. That is the Jantam Ho go Koyusina. Any Jampa Pavo Kondazan Botanki, Java said and Java sending a tuna canter, but give up with a naga theatre at the home. tin am phật gewa ka ti la nga ki ta chung chung de tin am don phen nga da don zin me san rang lu ka pa tong ne sin ting ku ho leng san ta rang lu ka pa tong ti ko de zang boy yang ba yang san de kan da hu na ti ta don ho leng san ta da ti rang ka pa te sin ting yin ko ku yu ba nga ka da gan den ka yu ma de ba la den da se ga na ta pe ya na yang tho chim po na rang ke ge ta chung chung chot tik pa sam de yang tho chim po na pa de suna ti yang tho de ma ka pa ti chot tik pa dan de ji mi pa pe te ta ti rang ke ne ka ge de wa tho ku yu den thar pa da tham ti ba gong phang rang ke ma tho chi pa de ti ge ta de gong ni gong de phan du de me ti la ji mi so ne ni yo ho wa tam ba ki thi ho te xie wo de ba la
so under any circumstances we are not supposed to lose our merit, what we accumulated, not let those afflictive emotions destroy our merit. And then the merit I accumulated, I'm going to dedicate to the sake of all sentient beings' benefit. If you have the siddhi or the realization of the non-visualization primordial wisdom, it's called. If you have that, it's like it's a realization, it's a siddhi, attainment. If you have that, then you don't need to go through all that, but you can do it through that primordial wisdom. If since we don't have that, we are ordinary beginner practitioner, then you can just take an example, Manjushri, Samanta Badra, Samanta Badri and so forth. So however they dedicated their merit to the sake of all sentient beings, take an example for them, and then you dedicate your merit. So then your merit is going to be increase, not going to decrease. So it's going to increase and increase and increase, whether it's this life or next life. The ultimate, liberation stage is the Buddhahood, the enlightenment state. Till that time, that merit is going to be continually, it's going to be increased.
Ta joni ka wala ta jong ji san sang go lo to pe ji tang song gom lo the na ta ta ma ta pa re gom na the ta de ku tang bo ni lo do nang ge ni go zo ni gom ji ta ko sa ja chim bo do kwa chim bo na ge ren do na ka ra gom na tam ba song ko nan ta ma lam den ta du li chu le tin nan ta ta ma ta pa re gom na ta tam ba song ko nan du do go ko yu ri ta yu ge ma ta pa gom du ta ma ta pa la na so ga ta kan re ri de u sin na ta tam jor tin da ni ka wa ri te
So then now the second one is the second thought. The first one is how difficult to obtain the precious human life. The second one is the impermanent. Nothing is permanent. Impermanent. So also this we cannot say that now I obtain the complete, perfect, precious human life. This precious human life is permanent. We cannot describe, or we cannot say it like that, because this precious human life is also impermanent. It's going to be destroyed. It's going to be disappear any minute, instantly. We don't know, but it's the inherent nature of the precious human life is also impermanent.
Ta te ke mata pa ta san mo ta kan ngan so thara len do sa ka sin hu kin jik tin sa jim de yang thar ta me de chot me ta chot long ka tin ta mi jen ta ma na kha tong parang ji o ke za ta karma la so pa ra wa ta khan je sin hu ke cha to ta ma de ta ni mata pa de wa la ta ma jik jo yu ri so on ti nu tham che tan dam je yo de ti na ka sin ki tham che sa sa jin ta kwan de ra ko mata pa bi jik jo de simchi tamche ko mu ma go pa thama nang ka nu tamche dong yen do ba la sa ke yik tin dan jik jo yu ri te nang ke simchi tamche jik jo yu ri te sin hu ke yik tin da la sa na ma ta pa gong go ko yu ri na ju ke simchi sa na ma ta pa gong go ko yu ri song 다 때는 담배 찌러 삼대 못다 봐 곰바 이거 닭보다 삼대 못다 봐 곰바 눈바 닭보다 삼대 못다 봐 곰바도 다 때는 못다 봐 삽제 냉사 시에샤 우리 다 따라 도마니 게 신호 이제 띵들라 다 매게 이제 촉 이제 뭔가 보내 된 타만 남카 동버랑기 파토 타니 오로 송사 요라 그냥 내도 사고란다야 티 남카니 자까만 마 다와 탄지 다파요만 탄지 요리기랑 기리마 도템 곰마다 마마이 바 촉토 바다 다파지니 우 말이 말라
You know, so how we're going to practice this impermanent is like look at whether it's inner phenomena or outer phenomena. Inner phenomena is the sentient beings, living beings, creatures, so forth. So the outer phenomena is all this, land, earth, water, whatever existent of the outer phenomena. Those called the outer phenomena. Those, the phenomena is going to be destroyed eventually. Like fire, the fire is going to burn. The wind is going to, blow away. All that, when the end of the world, when it ends, it's going to, the cycle ends. This, the cyclic existence cycle ends, then, it's going to destroy with the fire and water and wind and so forth. So we hear that quite often. So even other religions say that too. So that's, their inherent nature is also impermanent. Nothing is impermanent. Like Rinpoche is saying, even the sun and the moon and the star and all the galaxy, whatever existing there, it's going to destroy also. Eventually, eventually it's going to be a disappear. It's not going to stay there like same size in the same place and like that. So these all are, the inherent natures. It reminds us, tells us, or teaches us impermanent. So we need to meditate on impermanent. Sanjay Rinpoche true nang la chik dusin da woji chik song la jamsa nang dusi ji lo na dusi chhin
chotik pa chik ta te chotik pa nga ke gewa chung chung de la pe ja da la chotik pa chik jam tho de la jam ba yang kun dang po tham chik kan chot sam pa ja wa se de ba gewa lat chim bo de ba ti nang nga ke gewa chung chung de ta tin phang ho nga ke da ma re ma zong hui ka na so
I mention or not, I don't know, but when it goes deeper and deeper, some things, it automatically reminds me, it comes up in my mind that, then like say, the how we are going to dedicate our merit that we accumulated, like take an example like Samanta Bhadra or Manjushri, but you say, you accumulate just tiny bit of merit, like take it as, your merit is the size of a drop of water. You drop that drop into the ocean, and then that drop is going to be melted into mixed into the ocean water, and then your merit is going to be, like flourishing everywhere, spreading, you can say. So your merit is never ever going to destroy, unless if your afflictive emotion, like your anger, is not going to destroy. So
I think mata pa gong de ta tin dik tin tham che mata pa sen dik tin nga ne lu sa yin de la mata pa yin ba ta nang ke nu ke sem ji tham che mata pa yin ba ta sa mo tang na ta ra ne na chur ji ni de ni che pa do khung yo ra ji ma to sa pa yo ma ri ba si pa dharma ni ge pa ne khung je ga nam che ke ta pa yo ma ri da ta ra jo long ju ke ta pa yo ma ri khu che su na ta pa yo ma cha ma ta pa me ba jang jang yi sang tha du ta nga tho ta ta kan de khu su po lon ta ba khu no long ju kha je kan de chen bo ji na khu te che tu la yu na che me la yu li ngin pa ni pa yo ma che pa la yu na che tha la yu li ngin pa me de no long ju ye bo ji na ta pa mi song ri o ta khang thok nga thang kan de wa cha chen bo se ma yi na khu na nyen thok a thang chen bo ke te ne du ta lo kho yang in home the sa le ko wan cha gang yang mi ba tanda ong si le ko den ra na thok nga thang la wan mata ba yin ba ha ko ko yu ri ta han ke zo la so kan de zo ji po ya po na ko den la yang ta ba yu ma ko te ge de yu ri ta ko yin yin pan da man da ne ki na sa ki yang ko tanda zo ya po ji po fo ne to ko yu ma tanda sa na mata ba ri de yu ri
so just there's so many. Take example how to practice impermanence, just like look at a child, a baby when born, and how it's born, then how gradually it's grow up, then like youth, old age, sickness, and so on. So it goes. Everybody is going to go through that. So it's likewise. Nothing is permanent. It tells. It gradually changes. So nothing stay in the one person, like in the one place permanently. It moves. So likewise, you take your wealth. Your wealth is going to be, decrease. Your wealth is not going to stay at the same time, the same way. I mean, likewise, your fame. You're famous. Maybe you're president of the United States or president of something. You're a very famous, well-known person. But next year or following year, you don't know, you might lose that election, and you become that you're famous. Your power is just disappears. So it tells so many ways all this, and nothing is permanent. Everything is, impermanent. Like we said, whether it's the inner phenomena or an outer phenomena, all are impermanent. The inherent nature is impermanent.
Ni chot ki thani ki ba te ki wa yu ni ki wa yu ba ko kin che sa sin so chot ki ki pan che ji mi ta wa ni yu ma de ko ki wa yu ni ki wa yu ba te ma ta ba ta ko gan de yang tong tong po yu ni ko a sa nga ka sa cha li so yu mang po so ka te so ka che so ka te pan je ju yu ba de ba la so pa tan jin je te ma ta ba so tin thun po gan de ya la tong po yu ni ko yu na te thon yan lo ju yu de ba la 손포 탐지 마다데 홍송 다든 다음에 그 마다 탑이가 맞을 때 강양 메이송 자고 우리 딘데 마다 탑이게 디바인 바 하고 요리송.
There's nothing related to the impermanent, any phenomena. All are related to the the impermanent. Whether it's like a huge wall, eventually that wall will come down. Whatever the time period it's going to be, but the wall is come down, eventually. Wealth is like that. No matter how much wealth, but that wealth is going to be eventually disappear one way or the other. Whether it's your lifetime or your, child's lifetime or somebody's, that wealth is not going to stay like that. So nothing is going to be permanently stay there forever. Eventually, it's going to disappear. It's going to destroy, like a birth. When you say birth, the death word comes automatically. Birth. Then you're not just birth, like saying that old age, sickness, and so when you gradually, while you're growing up, then time comes. Then you cannot move, you cannot do nothing. Then you're caught up with there's all kinds of sickness and illness and so forth. Maybe with one cause cause and condition of that. So but whatever it is, the bottom line is it's going to destroy. It's going to disappear eventually.
ko se sajo ko se yo na te ta kwa yo ma de wala den da ko kan yang tu na kan so na ta ma ta pa yin ba de ha ko na ma ta ba den da ben ti den ba ta po ko gong ko ku ri song li.
So whatever, whether food, and again we are talking about the impermanence. If you know the the true nature of the impermanent, and whether you're staying in one place or you're traveling, whatever, something goes wrong with one of your possession. You're not going to get frustrated. You're not going to get upset because you know this, it will break down. It might get lost. But it's impermanent. You know that nothing is permanent. Right? You might lose somewhere, or somebody might rob you from there. That's no longer yours, and anything can happen, whatever. Then you are not going to get sad. You are not going to get mad, because happen, because it's impermanent. So if you practice, this is, we are talking about how to practice impermanent. What is the true nature of the impermanent? If we practice like that, we put it in our practice, then we are not going to get any frustration, I will say.
진짜다 맞다바데 곰디다 담조니까 곰디 때니까 첸들 힘바 첨보라 첸들 단진이는 속다 첸들 단진이 좀 거유려라 근데 다시 군다면 지산때 자기 망호고데 그냥 체제대 히다 싸와니 대인 통코요 말이 이 담조데 간다 톡가와 인데 말하마오 직대 그다음 파 도미의 추주동 토사동 거유로 또 토사동 담조 때문에 동세를 건너 거유리 그 연결아, 틀려라, 디왕나 콘도 그 되겠니? 당연히 까와당 체마다 바테니 약보라는 곰 키우나 디 첸데 힘바라 당진의 방토고 우리 첸데 힘바 당진의 방토나 제와 참마가 동다 침보도 레줌데라 이치리네 나 레줌데 상초나 추게바도 시바당 네바방 시바다 나 또도 철레서 말이 고리와나.
So if if we know how difficult to obtain the precious human life, what is the true nature of the impermanent, what is the meaning of the impermanent, or what is impermanent? If we know that very well, then also eventually we know what is the karmic cause and effect. So then we are not going to get then mitakbadan tanjani ka da mitakba yapun gomsa na
체 힘바라 당진의 밀용 고르발라 첸디 당진 힘바 미나 이 로레서롱 게발라.
So right now we get so we are so caught up with this material world, and then we don't think, or we can say we don't have time to think about death. Whatever business, whatever the daily life chores, we are so involved. We are making plans, we are thinking, making plan, whatever project you started, the project is not going well, then you get upset at business, anything. So so whatever it is, we are so then we are not thinking about the death. Then one day you are at the doorstep of the death, or you eventually time flies, in other words. So then when you at the dying process, or you reach or you arrive at the doorstep of the death, then you say, what I did, then it's ahead of the time, if you have a knowledge of the death, whatever your daily life activities, your chores are, but with that, if you know the death, I'm not permanent. So then that self-grasping, not letting that self-grasping ego, not to let cling that constantly, then that clings, then I, mine, me, then that self, whenever that self-grasping ego clings, then we have that attachment, aversion, whatever, So we are not going to have that. So we know that, impermanent, death, so forth. So we are not going to get so crazy. What we are not making a whole lot of plan. Whatever to survive, that we all need to do. But not getting. Another word is you can say not reacting over something you try to accomplish, but it's not accomplishing. Make sense?
Ninda kayu koma nampa kati drupa ke yamsin chokne hinlu ke tanda gom tarsin drupa tom do jite lodo namba jere ta hon yul ki ne te yul ki sone te ke ni tunda chula hinlu jora drupa top chude tarsin thapa do lodo nam yul ki ti yong tin yin song li dara mata pa re pe ne ya cha ya kan te khara gom chong khong ne mata pa yul ki yin khong sang ke jom khara gom chong kong to thawi wala kong tang ke jomo khara du sat na yod no ko kabla ti phupa na to kong ya ne na ne yod no ko phupa go ta la therphong se ga therphong chung kong tin te kong thor asun don du therphong la ko zen thong du o re chu go sari sam kong an bo tra jo di o re chu chod le sa la nga te chu du se ge ba do le ke sa nga te se re chu du se nga shena ka re si sa 주주 맞춘 타마 라마데 드바통네 쿠산 타요 판도 초 다리 태봉 때문에 탈송도 푸푸고원 찬도레리 뒤에 주주 맞용네 다리 뭐다 빠데 쌈데네 개바드 때문에 대주 투투들 공 도사온 사리 나 대세셔나 가르치 쌈셔데 개바드 때문에 주주 맞이 하스네 살레 말라 태봉데
최신데 태봉데
예 당보 태봉데 주고도
주 맞을 때는 공즉 가발
공 드바 톱소들이 아 당보 공나 용도 뒤 태봉데 가선 로산 람가라 뒤 푸푸고사라 우데라 데 주고다 산디 에께 누세사랑 개바도레 케사리 에 주온도 생가 하나 셔나 가르치 데 주온도 투테사라 나 개바도레 가 예리마도 나나 셔시디 마리 산테 마타파 주지르티 콩게 주주 마 하스네 살레리
There is a great Mahasiddhas, highly realized being. His name was Khara Gomchung, where he was meditating. He's doing, where he was doing his retreat. The right very edge of his door of that cave where he's doing his meditation and so forth. So there's like a small tree of thorn, right? Yeah. So whenever he comes, in and or coming in, coming out or going in, whenever that little thorn tree, the rope, the monks that wears the robes, they caught into thorn. The one, the thorn, when it gets, to the fabric, it pulls you back, kind of. So one day he thought, whenever I, go, come out or I go in, this thorn tree is, disturbing my robes. So he thought, I should cut this little tree down, this thorn tree, get rid of it. Then immediately, that he thought, why I waste it's not bothering me. I can still maneuver in, I can still go in, I can still come in. It touches a little bit, I don't need to worry about that. Why I waste my time? Whatever the time period takes to cut that thorn tree, instead of cutting that tree, I should practice or meditate. I can accumulate a merit. I can accomplish something, So he did, and he achieved one of the high realizations.
Oh yeah, that daranga mata pa yin pa shi chat dila. Ya mata na rang cheva dil chat du chu pa chat chan ni ko me te len do chi chok kam ne do wi ta ko che wa lin ju mi ni ko chi thing ma ong do yu na tena ta le de de ong no be kyo ma ri ta rang so lu do te ko chod lu no jo lu jo men ta cha ri na pa shi pa de shi jo yu ma ri na pa shi pa de shi ji mi ko ka re do ko yu is na ko le gi ji sun rang ko la ra ma thin yu ma ri te ja pol dan ban do le Duty the Japan do Jona, Long Jun Zata, Inchi Jimanda, give it to the Garne Gang do Yang, Lane at the Magin to Jisunda, so two Parrot and do Parrot at Sesama do Gona, Churanga Jila Tara Long to Hor Nadi Kandran the Chula Jachimbo things upon the one, Chula Cup good no more long to the Cup good no more the Churangila no Mari. So Churanga Court, Kandran and Corpus of Kandrona, Churanga Ropa Makrema and Tisayo Mari. Chuk Gila Karandanga is a Chutara leg, get a say Chusawa. Kare se cha one chuk sim yu la pa kha kare ya pa kha zang kare ya kana te chu ji lan dang de uri chu kana suna te ji lan dang mi ne dang de uri le gi ji san dang ko ko uri so ne wala.
So it's a text called Samadhi Raja Sutra. It's a text. This text it's a teaching. It mentioned that how gorgeous, how beautiful, how strong, how famous, how powerful, whatever you are, the mundane body is going to eventually it's going to destroy, it's going to disappear. Likewise, whatever wealth you have, reputation you have, nothing is going to help you, nothing. They're all going to disappear. So what in the mundane body is going to be, you're going to live. The mundane body is going to die. In other words, that your consciousness is not going to die. Number Shiva, that's not going to die. That consciousness has the consciousness doesn't have the self-freedom or self-independence. So whatever action the consciousness follow, or whatever action, karma, the consciousness follow with the karma, with your very own karma. So, whatever karma you have, or that's the consciousness is going to follow. Number Shiva the leg Dangres, follow Rama Yamares,
leg the Karasa could take this down Yuri. He takes down the two Kanas from Canada, Natural Kiavasama Canado, so later given down the matter, nor long Jura, Churan who like this cancer they could give it.
So anyway, so your son, your bodyguard, your security people, your relative, your community people, your whatever, or race, your ethnic origins, nothing, nobody is going to help you or going to follow you. Only, your consciousness is going to follow, like I said, the karma, and the consciousness itself doesn't have the self-freedom. So then whatever virtuous deed or non-virtuous deed, according to that, it is going to follow that. So,
Pa ha sum dara de ran sa te ga sa se no jo le da ta ta wa ni on ko ma ko le ge ba sa cho na te ken de ma yong ju tang me ge ba sa cho te ken de dong ha yong ju te ku yong ni pa chi ne ku te ji sun dang ni pa chi ne so ba mi pa di se ko du da.
So so when if you did you committed all kind like negative karma, then you are going to, the result is going to be negative. You committed like say heinous crime or something like that, and then you want to transform into that positive karma. You can't. You cannot change like that. You cannot exchange like that. So whether it's a positive, it's going to be a positive. It's negative, then it's going to be negative. So that way, then you will understand. So the third one now looks like we are reaching the, precious human life, then impermanent, and now looks like we are talking about the karmic cause and effect. The karmic cause and effects. Whatever karma we are going to cultivate or generate, then the result is going to accordingly, so it's positive, it's going to be a positive result. If it's negative, then it's going to be negative. So now, how is the karma, how's the simple word is how this karma works. So just look at individually, look at any community, look at it in your nation, or your country. Just so many ways you can take an example. Some don't need to work hard. They got everything. Some they work hard, still not getting enough. Right? We all are same. So we work hard, still not getting. Sometimes we work hard, we're getting everything. So there, so it's going, around like that. So many ways. But the main thing is where it started from the very beginning. Whatever merit you accumulated, based on that merit, then we are having a quality life, you can say, a perfect livelihood, you can say, or how to say, imperfect livelihood. All are related to that accumulation of the merit based on that karma. Making sense? Okay.
So I mean, lemde kare penna ngake pando kare tal kan der tan del son der hing ma to yo ko hing da yin da le yin hing ko ma ba de ta le ko ke geva dom na tel de de ba ru mi pa ti so ba mi pa te pro mi pa ko te chu pa mi pa ong do ko de mi do te ko te so ko de mi le ta ko le sa cha te ko le kare sa na te de hing ma to te tam hing mi le so bo na 대가서 소주면 양만나 딜레데 나가 매년 세고 거기 양만나 짜고 그래 봐. 나 짜리고 봐. 짜리고 송으로 봐라. 양나 짜고 양나 비행고 되면서 대가서는 고소 고지 밀레리 휴민 고지 밀레리.
So you can now is the karma, whether it's a positive karma or a negative karma, we are talking about if we recognize what is the karmic cause and effect thoroughly, completely, if we understand the true nature of karma, then we are not going to commit ourselves, or we are not going to create any negative karma, because we know the consequences of if we negative is going to be negative karma. That's non-virtuous deed. then we are going to change our focus. We are, if we are even saying one word, that's going to be a positive word. Whatever action, whatever moves, all are going to be positive. So, like for example, that if you're cultivating a rice, for example, the result is going to be a rice, not barley or not wheat. If you think, I'm plowing the farm or the field and throwing the seed of the rice or cultivating seed of the rice, then then the plan B is you want the wheat out of rice. You cannot modify it. You cannot modify like that with the karma. Whatever you get, whatever you do, you plan, that one will get you back. That will come back, or you will get that back. I don't know. I'm getting sleepy or something. Tongue is now not working anyway. So so it's like that. So if you plant rice, you will get the rice. You cannot modify. Yes, there's one thing that if you committed such let's say negative karma, then the how I did, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly you committed negative karma, or you did, you generated known what you did, that you will get the result of that negative karma, which is you created or you generated within yourself. That way you can get rid of that karma. Or you can confess. Confession. You practice confession, then you can reduce that negative karma. But you cannot modify that karma, There's no way you can modify that karma. As an example saying, you're cultivating or you're planting the rice and then wishing the result as a barley or a wheat, then you are not going to get that. It's a very, use your own common sense. Make sense? Yeah.
Take it later, Tata Ranket Zopas Handi de Compound Public Ragale Sana, Tet Nag Tom Lokuri, or Nintu Ranja Compound Public Letter and Tang Nag Tom Lokuri. That heart and my compound Public Leg gave us I shall take Nag Tom Lokuri. Or they may near Rankata Megava Sane, Churanga Chile, Ninsong Chile, Yada Chile, Chule Sasha, Churangasaka, the Ranang, the Rankati and Lokuri Mato. They later to the Rankar Lake and they ran the Pinko River.
So, for example, based on your accumulation, you wishing as a, like ordinary, wealthy, famous being, or you have a desire to reach or achieve the God realm, that's up to you. Or you wishing the realm of the realm or the, you can say realm, you can not realm, sorry, a level of the like ordinary, wealthy, wealth, fame, power and so forth, that kind of being you wanted. Or you want to be in the God realm, having all the God realm's enjoyment, or Nintu Rangel, Partika Buddha and Sharavaka Buddha. Solitary. Nintu Rangel, Sharavaka Buddha and Partika Buddha. Sharavaka. This is a Sanskrit word. So it's like a solitary, Geshe-la is saying, it's a solitary, this is a level. Huh? consolatory. Or you can say a self-liberation state. It's simple. You say self-liberation. You're self-liberating, not liberating others. So that level, if you want, that's up to you. That's it's like your own free will, your own choice. Or you want the ultimate stage, which is the Buddhahood, the enlightenment state. That's up to you.
今天给大家给我热呢，他把广泛托就这样，他这个就他把托这个塔的点，就他给我热呢，就他把托空多，落地托塔个塔的点的嘛都，他这个就让东方人的呢，这先看偏就有嘛，对吧？ที่他把托这个名啊塔的就让点的，ที่托了，然后热么让的哪来的有的说，ที่来的都那下搞过去有的话了。
So so like Buddha said, I showed you the skillful method of the liberation state, how to achieve the enlightenment state or the Buddha liberation state or the Buddhahood. Buddha is not going to just grab you and just throw you, liberate you. He's not he or she, whether it's female Buddha or male Buddha, whoever you're involved with it, but that enlightened being is not going to just pick you up and take you there or throw you up like we're throwing a piece of stone or rock somewhere. It's not going to happen like that. But you're going to, the method, the skillful mean. If you will liberate, you can liberate this their way or not. But that's up to individual. That you want to liberate or not. He shows, he or she shows that method, and then up to us, we want to liberate or not.
他连人把啥家里，他伢娃那接，他接就当接，伢娃那接个适当个的来插进步，但他说接就拉上，连人把插进步啥个当接了。ที่ตาเด็กก็ตอบเด็กก็เซมที่ตอบที่เลงพาที่ตอบแต่กระนั้นที่ทางโลกอยู่ดีแต่จากเสกสายเย็นเมโทก็ว่าถึงเลงขึ้นดราม่าก็สู้ๆโยกๆงานราชาชันที่เลงภาษาก็แต่นั้นเพลงที่เด็กเซมก็ตอบที่ทางเขาอยู่ตรงหรือว่าที่ยิงเด็กก็สู้กันเลยจบกันแต่แล้วรีเลยมาเด็กก็เซมเลงภาษาก็ที่เลงมีแต่เลงก็น่ามีแต่เพลงนะถ้าดังก็ทนทางเขาหรือว่าที่เด็ก
So like the hell realm, hell realm. Not only Buddhist, other religion also talk about hell realm. This is like a common words. There's existence of that hell realm. So then, who are who borns in the hell realm? The beings who slaughter, kill, whether it's the animal, innocent people, whoever. And then how in the hell realm is. How the heat hell or hot hell or cold hell. So there's so many levels of hell in the hell realm. So who are wandering, who need to pay their karmic debt, you can say karmic consequences in the hell realm, need to go through all that. With the anger, killing, destroying, creating all kinds of destructions, bringing suffering, another word. Then you need to pay the price, right? One way or the other. So then it's like that.
ที่เจ้าตาทางคนนี่ไม่ละซาเลยจุดเดียสันที่ร่างกายทับว่าเกี่ยวกับโรคคนเกี่ยงจังโรคคนโดสามเนี่ยที่สามบาทดาโลนี่ทุกข์ก็คือที่ตาทางร่างกายเนี่ยกับเดียวอะไรละซานตรงนี้ที่เล่ไม่เกี่ยวกับเช่นบอกส่วนนั้นที่เล่ไม่เกี่ยวกับเตะกับที่สมาธิมันท่ามีปาที่ดงหางยองยิบปาที่ดงหางร่างกายส่วนกับที่ร่างกายถอดเพ่งที่ชูจุดปานส่วนโรจมีปาตได้ยิบปาที่คิดชัดดูถ้าร่างกายเกี่ยวกับปานาดูที่ถ้าเขาชุบมาส่งเลยที่จนมาส่งเลยที่จนถึงที่สิปาอยู่ที่ถึงได้สิบกว่าคืออยู่ดีแต่ตามนี้ร่างส่งไปชุดสังหารโดยเจ็ดปานาเทเนี่ยต่างกันนางปาทานเจ็บไปชุบโบเลยโยเลนเดียวสมามาอยู่ที่นี่ชันเนี่ยชุบกันได้ดีเลยชุบตัวที่เจ้าว่าสมาปาโดนรบกับเจ้านะชุรังติดเจ้าชุรังก็เลสอันบาเทกิปอบเทกิรีเดียวดีเป็นนะชุบปาโดนงามใจชาชุรังเลกิเต็งดามันเดมาเลกาเลนะชุบปาโดนช้างหุ่นนะปาโดนงามใจชานะ Churang got to say Lama Tin, so on the person, Churang Lama Tin, so at that delay, did to take a Lama Lansan Lama took just not let to Kuri. Churang so on the take some but Sawa Nini, Chu Lama Tin, Sanana meet and Lama Tan is home in the Chuka Hako, the Matorto Kuyuma, the Lake Karasan, the Terry, Dojita, Tonari, the Ruler. Some Samas and game against some Batang and Kupa Tasso, Ruler. Take it that have Pachayo to Bura, give and take you the pay. So,
we need to plan. We need to make our mind pure, like a noble mind, it says. A big mind, not limited mind. So, we need to develop that. And always, you need to put positive contents into your mind. Do not put any negatives. So we consider ourselves as a Buddhist practitioner. In the Buddhist practitioner, this extraordinary, the Tibetan Buddhists, the Vajrayana practice. It's very, it's called a multiple choice practice. So many options you have. You can practice this way or that way, you have all kinds of options. So, you can practice that way. So, we all are, the ultimate our goal is to achieve enlightenment state of the Buddhahood. So, like we say, while we are in the dying process, then that will last a very breath. When that stops, then we call ourselves as that's a crops, yeah? Corpse, right. Corpse, dead body. The body, like we mentioned that we leave that mundane body eventually. The inherent nature is the impermanence. But then, that comes then when our consciousness enter into the pardo state or the intermediate state. If you plant positive in your mind, you have a great devotion and faith, respect to your teacher, or Buddha, or any kind, like Buddha or Bodhisattva, enlightened any beings. So you always think about those great beings, whether you're a teacher or Lama. So then, while you wandering into the pardo state or the intermediate state, your consciousness looking for the next entrance. Excuse me. At that time, you feel scary, all kinds of, all in the part of teaching, all those are in detail in the part of teaching. At that time, then you remember your Lama, if you made some sort of a supplication request, prayer to the Lama appears spontaneously right there. And make ease Lama's appearance is going to ease the fear that you're having at the intermediate state or the pardo state. Where the fear went, because you already organize those qualities you cultivated into your mind way ahead of the time. So that way, that's you're constantly reminding your teachings of your lamas. So it's not doing but just yourself. All the positive, great qualities you cultivated so far into your mind, that is helping you at that during that that cycle, where you are in the pardo state or the intermediate state.
Think take it at Angiran to Tasangate, should doji te pa the Yamsalim, the Gil Kanzaki, the young Taka Tawa for the Tansan, some Yula Kijo, in Yonga Chohe Lord, Timama in Barta, the Naru Songyawuri, in Yonke Glodite, Tata, Kovalam in Yonke Bokuri. Kovan de la Tang, Himpomando, the Tapamando, Timpamando, the Tang Savarida, Savicinida, the Sondo, some near water love Gokuri. Did Lord left let your hair get Tana, did in Talika Taritanga, 송 통코요리 말라 탈탈 쪼바리 지 통코요리 당보 띵 어때 말았나 큐라 산행제 때래 토코요 뭐 찌 띵데 요르바 산행제 약고제 마탐나 띵 큐 당보 군도 산초 섬제 마는 동당 그 산초 섬도 토코요 동당 산초 섬도 마탐나 이 양딱 바다 요 말이와 그다 상하가 나는 요게들라 양딱 바다와 산초 섬 인종 거 로다 대송 라고 당보 인종 거 마티나 산초 섬 라마토 산초 섬 말라나 양딱 바다 또 뭐토 당 인종 랩 타바탈라 다 로도 남게 대시고 그 담조니까 시체마다 바시 레줌 대신 콜로니메 시대 약고서 시나더니 당 인종 조시 랩은 거 인종 조시 넘나 대 주게 발라 용아 요소 거르투 거요래 발라
So like we said, this the four thoughts which turns your mind into practice Dharma. It's turning your focus, mind focus, into practice Dharma, So this is like a foundation. If you understand thoroughly, then you are going to have this feeling that you're not going to focus, into unnecessary distractions where you distract for nothing. So you're going to change your mind focus into a virtuous deed, accumulate merit, benefit others, sentient beings, needies, and so forth. So then you also know at the same time, I should not waste, with the samsaric activities, the worldly activities, distractions, creating problems, all this harm, hate, and so forth. So these are all our distraction, samsaric, the cyclic existence activities. So you're not focusing onto that. So then, Ninjong, so then you see, you will see, this samsara is, samsara or the cyclic existence is essenceless. There's no essence at all. So then you feel, Kyoshini, you feel sad. So there's, you see, so you want to liberate, because the samsara, we talking about samsara's inherent nature is the suffering. Then, nobody likes suffering. We all like to get out or try to run away from the suffering, right? We don't want it suffering, but we get it one way or the other, right? So like that. So then when we have that kind of focus, then we are not going to focus too much into samsaric activities or the worldly activities. Then we are focusing more into a liberation state, which is the enlightenment state or the Buddhahood. Then once you get enlightened, you attain the Buddhahood, then you are suffering free, you can say. No more suffering. Revala. Tene khaya la santa. Mani ko to chega.
Yeah.
Tene ada Kyoshi tene Ninjong
so ta khowa tandu ko jo che de khowa samba jo tene sancho sang ungore wala da sankhanya mi mi da yang da ta wa sancho sang Ninjong jo che ti som de go ko yuri sancho san do de da yin pin ke sa ba ungore ba de sancho san da gun do sancho san dun da sancho san de ni de dang bo gun do sancho san do de lo ju go ko yuri da ri khowa le de sen tin tham che phama ma je ba che jam mi ba ni phama se de de ra na tin chen bo ko jang yu ba si ni de ta pha tin zondu ke sem da che de sancho san.
So then, we need to develop that bodhicitta. This bodhicitta is a Sanskrit word. Bodhi is the enlightened and chit is the mind. You can say enlightened mind. Then, what is the bodhicitta? How we are going to have that bodhicitta or the enlightened mind? The loving kindness, and compassion. Loving kindness and compassion. That genuine loving kindness and compassion we need to develop within ourselves. That's called the bodhicitta. Bodhicitta or bodhicitta. the altruistic enlightened mind. Then then we have that, then we have unconditional loving kindness and compassion to sentient beings, right? So that's quality. So that we need to develop within ourselves. Then, as a Vajrayana practitioner, we consider ourselves. Then loving kindness and compassion, which is a bodhicitta, that's very important. If we don't have a bodhicitta or the enlightened mind, then we cannot say or we cannot label ourselves as a Vajrayana practitioner. Whether he or she, whoever it is, that consider themselves as a Vajrayana practitioner. Without the bodhicitta, you cannot call or say that. But as a beginner, we need to develop that. It's not like right away you can get that instant realization. You cannot get that bodhicitta, but need to start from the scratch. Chanjogu same Ravala. Then I forgot one. Then when we reach the bodhi, when we talk about bodhicitta, then comes another true thing, that relative bodhicitta and the ultimate bodhicitta. Ravala. So so then first we have to have that the bodhicitta. Then we can say, then we can discuss, then we can develop that relative bodhicitta and the ultimate bodhicitta.
Yang tak patawa tu chutam ke tongking da mi tak tong to bu khu de wala yang tak pa don ti tawa tu non therma so ba ko no wan therma me ba yang tak pa de yeng ju de yang tak patawa se ko yang tak patawa tu de ha jora de chutam ke tongking da mi ba de ma se gen sun je do da ko rang ge chen ge ngo do da tawa do ju chen ngo ha ko ko ba chen ngo de ha ko na Tarang rang so zen tham che mata ba yin ban thurba yin ba tham che khu rang khok pha be de khu ha ko chu no ko yu de ba de chu ne ti khu chen ko ngo ne lok da ha ko de da yang ta ta ba se ko de ba la de khu che ju de ko ma song ni thur ma song ni de da re ke chen khu ne lok ngo tong ni de to go ko yu de ba la.
So then that way if we develop that perfect view, not contaminated view with contaminating with this afflictive emotions, deluded thought, conceptual thought, and so all that. So not contaminating and recognizing the true inherent nature of the mind. The nature of the mind says, or inherent nature of the mind, the true nature of the mind, whatever we call that, we need to recognize that. Basically what it's saying is that true nature mind is uncontaminated. It gets contaminated with our very own afflictive emotion and conceptual thoughts. So if we recognize or we have that realization of the perfect true nature of the mind, then we can say perfect realization, perfect realization or perfect view.
Tinte tara yong gison chango zono jute tara telo pa ke naro pa la pen hama tin jing dem yong te dun jie wa mi pa ma to pa choni xing tan phang lo lan da wa ma ji naro pa song du jute churan ke ta ho dun jie wa mi pa ta yang ta ko ta wa dun jie wa mi dun de ma to pa to chu ke cho ni po mi jie su na ke cho ta mi ke to ni po de sa go khu ri de lan da lo de ma ri song ja wo wa la mi jie do tara dan ba som do jute cho ni do dong da zhe ba li de 然后有把身体当把啦，用好啊当把的，没接触那个错的的，但是参加进步都把从我嘛就打多我都没没当把都那个，我没一些个错的的，可当把什么的呢？错你的呢？错你为的，但是有把身体当把啦，用好啊当把的呢，没接触那个错难都可以的，没没当把的，没一些个错都可以的。
So so it's then comes to that, we already discussed the relative bodhicitta, ultimate bodhicitta. Then it comes to that accumulation of wisdom and the accumulation of the primordial wisdom. Like the very beginning, and we mentioned that the three quality we need to develop. First, the Simkit, Mujimingmi, Jungwa. So first the altruistic enlightened mind, and then no visualization, and the third one is the dedication. So the altruistic enlightenment or the bodhicitta goes with the dedication. The no visualization is, the middle one. The second one is that we discuss about the like Mahamudra, Dzogchen, Madhyamika, and so forth. So that this two, that bodhicitta and the dedication, goes with the accumulation of the merit. And the second one, that the no visualization associated with those great teachings, is the primordial wisdom. Is it clear? Huh? So we are dividing now. So let's say this accumulation of merit and the accumulation of the primordial wisdom. Where originated, where it came from, you can say, for simple English, yeah? So the bodhicitta and the dedication, that the three qualities, the three perfect qualities we mentioned in the very beginning, originated based on bodhicitta and dedication. That's called the accumulation of the merit. And then the second one, we talk about no visualization. Without visualization or no visualization, you can say, like having a complete, perfect realization of Mahamudra, Dzogchen, Madhyamika, and so forth. But that's the primordial wisdom. So then, then you can categorize the accumulation of merit, accumulation of primordial wisdom. Clear? Okay. So this is just a brief discussion about the four thoughts. So we are going to go more deeper when we next couple of days